O'clock. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Kim, can we start for a roll call, please?
Noreen Friedrich is absent tonight. Adam Hempkin.
Here.
Andrea Corey. Here. Kelly Moyer is also absent tonight. Greg Meyer.
Here.
Lisa Schumacher.
Here.
Tyson Search.
Here. All right, if everybody would stand with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, welcome visitors. I think this is a record crowd for us. Appreciate everybody taking the time to come out tonight and hope you found a parking place. And I know a lot of you don't have chairs, so I apologize for the standing room only. We didn't expect this many people, so but welcome. Welcome. I'll go right on to our first item, which is public comments. Anybody have anything they would like to say this evening?
I'll start off. Hello.
Okay. If you would just tell us your name, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Betsy Mahoney, and while I am not a resident of Columbia, I am a concerned neighboring librarian. I am here to discuss the board's recent decision to remove the ALA Bill of Rights from your school media policy. Upholding the ALA Bill of Rights is one of the most important aspects of a well-written collection development policy. There have been many misconceptions about the new Illinois Act aimed at eliminating censorship. The Act reinforces professional responsibilities of library workers to build collections suited to their students' curriculums and recreational reading needs. As stated in the ALA Bill of Rights, library material should never be removed based on partisan or doctrinal disapproval. Upholding the ALA Bill of Rights is not an admission of a controversial collection. It is a commitment to a measured, methodical evaluation of your library's collection. Librarians are constantly evaluating library collections to make sure that it does reflect a school curriculum and meets the needs of the students. A sound collection development policy will include the criteria needed to select items, including accuracy, interest, positive reviews, and, to quote a sample policy from the ALA's website, the emotional development, ability level, and social, emotional, intellectual development of the students for whom the materials are selected. This means that every library collection is designed for the students, taking into account the curriculum and the maturity level. All collection development policies also outline circumstances in which items may be removed from a collection. If the item is out of scope with the criteria set forth, it's removed with a process we call weeding. This is not censorship, but a critical part of librarianship in evaluating your collections. If a book is out of date, written at too high or too low of a reading level, or just no longer popular, those are all reasons for it to be removed. While there will always be, and this again is not censorship, while there will always be disagreements among parents about what is appropriate for their children, that's a private family discussion. Having a strong collection policy for the school media centers upholding the ALA Bill of Rights benefits everybody in the district. Trust your librarians to create a library collection that speaks to every single student's needs in your district. Thank you so much for hearing me.
Yep. My name is Carrie Clayton, and I am a parent of a 4th grader and a 1st grader here in the district. Recently, while I was filling out the 5 Essential Survey, I came across a question that asked, do you feel like you have a voice in the planning and decision making at the school? And I struggled to answer because while I know I am respected at the schools that my children attend, I do not feel that the school board truly values parent input unless it comes from their friends or neighbors. It seems that many decisions are based on conversations among like-minded individuals rather than through meaningful engagement with a broader community. For example, when the topic of the Scholastic Book Fair arose, why wasn't a survey sent out to parents? When a committee was formed after the October 2024 meeting, who was on that committee? Was it just board members and the assistant superintendent? Did it include parents from diverse backgrounds? Did it represent families from all district buildings? Were there parents whose children may not fit the Columbia mold? Were teachers, administrators, librarians, or literacy professionals consulted? Did certified librarians or community library representatives weigh in? Has the district decided how they will help fund classroom books and update the libraries with more recent content, no longer having roughly $13,000 raised from the in-person book fairs? All of our students have a right to see themselves reflected in the books that they read. I understand the importance of balancing age-appropriate content, but severing ties with the American Library Association and eliminating the in-person book fairs concerns me deeply. I worry that this is the first step towards book bans and that a politically motivated agenda may soon dictate what is available to students, particularly books that include diverse racial and LGBTQ+ perspectives. You may argue that you don't hear concerns from those who disagree with the changes the board has recently enacted, but perhaps that's because those voices aren't in your immediate circles, and when they do speak up, they are dismissed as having a misunderstanding or overly emotional. If a parent does not want their child to purchase a book from the fair or check out a specific book from the library, they have that right to make that decision for their family. They can review book options, attend the fair with their child, or have a conversation about why they find a certain book inappropriate. But what they should not have the right to do is dictate what books are available to every child in this district. I urge you to ensure that decisions about book fairs, library materials, and classroom books are made with broad community input and with the best interest of all students in mind, not just those who happen to have the board and superintendent's ear. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Allison Wolf, and I'm proud to be a parent of 2 children in this school district. Like other parents, I enjoyed the board's warm welcome for my own young author last month. I come tonight disheartened with concerns regarding the recent change to Board Policy 6230. Along with others present tonight, I am requesting that you revisit and reinstate the former board policy regarding library materials, particularly the section noting alignment with the ALA's Bill of Rights, selections not being removed for doctrinal or partisan reasons. The entire ALA Bill of Rights is nothing but reasonable, and I have not yet heard any compelling justification for its removal from our policy. However, by defying the law, Public Act 103-0100, the school board willingly excludes Columbia school libraries from eligibility for state grant money, all in the interest of being able to remove texts due to either origin, background, doctrinal, or partisan reasons. This law does not prohibit the act of challenging or complaining about a book. If our board were to restore the ALA Bill of Rights within the policy and rejoin the ranks of the vast majority of local school districts, reconsideration policies would still apply for valid reasons, the only limit to selection being on a basis of partisan or doctrinal beliefs. Given that this is a public school district, I struggle to see the logic of removing this section of the previous policy unless you wish to violate these widely accepted rights in order to impose your own beliefs. I have heard the response that parents are misinformed. The truth is, there has been a lack of transparency regarding the composition and work of the committee formed in October to investigate the hypothetical issue of parent concern about book fair selection. You have said that you are not interested in banning books. I ask then, what would it mean for the board to prohibit a book's placement in the library based solely on the board's discretion? Why would this be necessary? Of course, I agree that reading materials should be developmentally appropriate. Providing access to materials at students' developmental level and removing books based on diversity or differing perspectives are entirely separate issues, which should not be collapsed into the same argument. It is concerning that we do not have a certified library or media specialist to conduct this work. We all love our children and want similar things for them, though it is clear we may choose different methods. Again, this is a public school system. In our free society, parents have the right to oversee what their children read, but they are not entitled to limit what all other children read or learn. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Sarah Clark, and I have 2 students here at Parkview. I was here at last month's meeting where you recognized the Young Authors winners. Thank you for doing so. My kids were very excited to write their books. They look forward to Library Day every week, and to say they're pumped for the school book fair is an understatement. Moments like these foster a love of reading, creativity, and learning, but recent board decisions threaten to undermine that. All children deserve to see themselves reflected in the books that they read. By removing the district's adherence to the American Library Association or ALA Bill of Rights, you have erased the district's commitment to not exclude materials because of origin, background, partisan, or doctrinal disapproval. I've heard claims that this is a misunderstanding or that those concerned are misinformed. That is not true. I have read the board meeting minutes. I have watched the YouTube recordings of the meetings. I've read the board policy before and the board policy after. I've exchanged emails with Dr. Grody seeking more background and context, and I've spoken with multiple certified local librarians. I've been told that this change was needed to ensure reasonable local decisions. That is not true. A district can comply with the ALA and still remove a book if it is too mature for a school's grade levels. What the ALA does not allow is removing a book simply because it includes a character that may look different, like an LGBTQ or Muslim character. That's the difference between a responsible collection policy and censorship. The district needs a certified media specialist or librarian involved to shape its collection development policy according to board policy 6230. That doesn't seem to be happening now, and it must be corrected. I am here tonight to urge you to reverse your decision to remove the ALA Bill of Rights from school board policy. I also urge you to bring back in-person book fairs, which further foster students' love of reading. These changes appear to have been made based on the objections of a few individuals without considering the needs and rights of the larger school community. They have also resulted in lost revenue from both state grants and book fair proceeds, both of which fund new books for the schools. Finally, I'm asking for transparency. Whose input did you seek? What problem was this meant to solve? And if you won't reverse your decision, then we need clear communication regarding when and why books are removed from school libraries. Parents and taxpayers deserve to know whether these decisions align with the principles of education and intellectual freedom or are just a response to ideological pressure. Our students deserve access to books that inspire, challenge, and reflect them. Thank you.
My name is Lily Scaron. I am a second grader here at Parkview, and then I have an up-and-coming kindergartner here for this fall. I'm Lily Scouron, and I am actually reading a letter on behalf of a local district employee, so her word. Dear members of the school board, I am writing to share my thoughts and concerns on the district's recent decision to eliminate book fairs in our schools. I understand that every decision made has its reasons, but I feel strongly that this one may have unintended negative consequences for our students and the community. I would like to respectfully ask for you to reconsider. Book fairs are so much more than opportunities for students to buy books. They are moments of excitement and discovery. For many students, the book fair is one of the times they get to choose books that reflect who they are, their interests, and their experiences. It's not just about picking up a new title, it's about finding a story that connects with them, whether it's through characters who look like them, share their struggles, or explore worlds they can relate to. This representation matters more than we might realize, as it helps students feel seen, valued, and empowered. While not every book and a book fair will fit for every student, the variety available means there's something for everyone. Whether students are looking for stories about friendship, adventure, culture, or personal growth, the books on display reflect the richness of their diverse lives. These options are vital because they ensure every student can see themselves in the stories they read, whether they're reading about someone from their community, someone with a similar background, or just a character who reminds them of their own journey. In addition, I want to emphasize the decisions related to education should prioritize the best interests of the students without the influence of political ideologies. Schools should remain a place where students are encouraged to think critically, explore new ideas, and discover their own passions. It's essential that political views do not influence decisions that impact their access to knowledge, representation, and diverse perspectives. Decisions that are made for the benefit of our children should be based on their educational growth and well-being, not on external political pressures. I urge you to reconsider the decision, and I think about how book fairs help us invest in our children's futures. By supporting them, we continue to cultivate a school environment where students can find joy in reading and where teachers and libraries have the resources they need to help students grow. Thank you for your time and consideration. I hope we can keep the tradition of book fairs in our schools.
Anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Amanda Champion. I also have a first grader in the Columbia School District. And I'm speaking on behalf of my household tonight. So my husband wrote this letter up. He says, "My name is Brandon Champion. I apologize. I could not be there in person due to work, but thankfully my wife is kind enough to be my voice tonight. I know there are others who wish to speak, so I'll get right to the point. You claim that removing in-person Scholastic Book Fair is for the children. You claim that removing books that some adults don't like is for the children. But I must ask, how does losing funding and revenue help anyone? Teachers are notoriously underpaid, schools and libraries are notoriously underfunded, and you want to take away more. Let's be honest with each other, this isn't to benefit the children. This is because a handful of people let their attitudes towards a particular group rob them of their good sense. Working in healthcare, I have seen people at their best and at their worst. I've also seen more than my fair share of the extreme things that young people will do to themselves when they don't feel heard, when they don't feel represented, and when they feel that just being themselves is wrong. I, like many, if not all, of the parents here, want nothing more than the best for our kids, to feel happy about themselves 100% of the time. We want them to be kinder, smarter, and all around amazing people before we send them into the world. That can't happen if their own schools are teaching them to alienate each other."
Anyone else? We appreciate all the input from all of you guys. Normally, historically, we don't address questions to the board. The reason is that as a board, we make decisions. As individuals, we cannot. And we cannot come to consensus and address you guys and answer your questions that quickly. We have to come to a consensus. Dr. Gainey has worked on this project a lot, and I'd like her to share a little bit of where the decision not to adopt. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we ruled against this thing. I think we just did not adopt it. Is that correct?
It was in the policy and we removed it.
We did. It
Yes.
was proposed in the policy and we did not adopt that policy.
No, it was already in the policy
Okay.
and then we amended it and took it out.
Did that come from the Library Bill of Rights
Yes.
bill?
Yes.
Okay, so
Well, I just want to start by thanking everybody for coming tonight because it means a lot that you care about the students, as do we, in regards to literacy. I have a passion, we have a passion for literacy with our students. So many of the things that were shared tonight are exactly spot on with our vision. If communication was not done, and so the method that it should have been done, I think we can agree we can make better in that and move forward together. We do not have a certified librarian, and those statements are very accurate in the fact that having a certified librarian would help us have that objective book selection process, which we don't have. We don't have an objective book selection process. We don't have a reconsideration process for if there is a book in question. We don't have committees that can review that book and a decision can be made for the best of the students. I also think it's important to remember that there's a difference between public and school libraries, and that's why it's so important to have a certified school librarian in your district. Public libraries don't have the same goals and visions as a school because, as it was stated several times tonight, we want our collections to be connected and aligned with our curricular goals as a district. It's not about banning or censoring to any degree. And nothing has been removed from the shelf other than a book that was not the right age level was shifted to another library. We are still doing scholastic book clubs. I understand that you as a group may not feel that that is the same as an in-person book fair, and I respect that. But that is kind of where we're at. I know there are many feelings in the room tonight, but I'm very excited about where our libraries are going to go. I feel like this has been a time for us to stop, to take a step back, take a breath, and see how we need to move forward to make things better for our students and libraries. And the board knows specifically how passionate I am about libraries. You can visit my office. I have a ton of books. I love book clubs. I love to read and make myself better. I'm saddened to think that you think that there would be any other different vision. But I'm here to tell you that that is not the vision, to take books away, to censor books. It's truly the exact opposite. It's to take a step back, hopefully find us somebody that can help us get our processes aligned so we can do what's best for students. And we need to align to the new literacy plan that's in the state. All of those things are part of our mindset and vision. And that's what I wanted to share tonight.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you. And I'll kind of tail onto that as an individual board member and not speaking for the board. These are my personal comments. When we did the high school project and the renovations, we were discussing libraries specifically. The architects all wanted to get rid of libraries. They said libraries are outdated, they don't need anymore, it's not part of the future. Amanda and I were very adamant that libraries need to be a part of that. And we really fought and were successful when we saved the library at the high school. So we're gonna have a stay there library. I am a huge book fan. I think everybody should read them. I know we have not banned any books. I've never voted to ban a book, and I doubt if I ever would. I agree with a lot of what you guys have said tonight. I love books. I want to incorporate them. I think kids should have a choice. We agree on a whole bunch of stuff. Where I have a problem, and where I have a problem personally adopting this is a partisan bill. This Library Bill of Rights was a partisan bill, like it or not. It received only Democrat votes for and only Republican votes against. It's not a bipartisan, it's not a nonpartisan. We're a nonpartisan board. I don't want politics in the school. Keep it out. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, politics does not need to be in this school. So that's where I have a problem. My second problem with the Bill of Rights, again, library stuff and books and banning, I'm in agreement with all you guys. I wholeheartedly agree with you. But it's funny, every one of you guys mentioned politics and partisan in your speech tonight. And this is a partisan bill, and we need to keep politics out of school. So the second part is I like local control. I know a lot of you guys are talking about not letting us. I don't want to dictate what people read. I don't want to ban books, but I don't want somebody in Chicago doing it either. I want to have local control. We are representatives of the community, and the community needs to decide what they want in our schools. And I think parents have a huge input, and I like to keep the parent input and do what we're doing. And you're right, we probably need more transparency. I want diverse opinions. If I have a committee, I want all different sides. You know, I own a few different companies, and when I have making decisions on my companies, I want different inputs. I want to hear both sides of the story, and I want to hear different opinions and different viewpoints, and I want to learn from each other, and that's what we do. But you know, when it comes down to it, we have a lot more in common than that divides us, and I'd like to focus on that. And like Amanda said, we're on board. It's not we're against anybody. We're here for the kids, and only the kids. Again, politics needs to get out of our way, and we need to concentrate on what's in the best interest of our children. So that's my soapbox. So, but again, appreciate you guys coming out and express your opinion. I know it's a heartfelt and very important to everybody, and education is the most important thing. That's why we're here, and we want to do what's in the best interest of our children. So, all right. Anybody else want to say anything? Or?
I have a question. Are you guys intending to hire?
Great point. Thank you, Ed. Yes. Yeah. Actually, we've talked about this it's been on the conversation long before all this came up. But as Amanda said, or Dr. Gainey, sorry, we need a certified librarian, and that is one thing that we're missing. And I think I would love to see it. I think Chris is advocate, Dr.
It's not on the agenda for tonight, but it is
yeah.
in the works for next school year. Yes.
Exactly.
But it is an upcoming hire.
It is definitely something we are looking strongly at and pushing toward. Yes.
My recommendation to the board members is that we find a way to do it. I think it's important. I think we need it. And again, I'm not speaking for the other board, so this is me talking, but
May I clarify something?
Sure.
You had mentioned the Bill of Rights. That's the American Library Association, the National Governing Board. That's completely separate, I think, from the bill in Illinois that you were referring to. They're two very separate things. I
Okay.
just wanted to clarify.
This is the Illinois bill is one I pulled up, so.
Okay, yes, but,
Okay. I'm probably right. You're right. I am not a library expert by any means, so.
sure, thank you.
I'm just doing what's in the best interest of the kids, all right?
I have a question.
Perfect. Okay. This isn't gonna get into a question and answer, but we'll,
I just want to, I'm the Parkview and Eagleview library aide, I
Okay.
guess. Are you thinking about hiring a certified, which I agree with, there needs to be someone here within the school district? Are you thinking of doing that at every single school, or just one in particular to?
At this point in time, we are just really trying to look at staffing for next year, and so we're digging in as to when was the last librarian we had, certified librarian that we've had, because we've had aides for a while. So there's a lot more information that we need.
Okay, and so you're not sure what would happen to us currently that work for the school district as the library aides?
We would not want to lose any of our current employees.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you.
I mean,
and again, the Board of Education, our job is a 30,000-foot overview. We're not in the weeds. We're not making this person goes here, this person goes here. That's to these fine folks. We hire great people. We give them the authority to make their own decisions, and we hold them accountable. And so far, it's been great. We have a fantastic team, and these guys are on top of it. We are very, very lucky to have our administrative team across the board. So, all right, board members, anybody want to say anything? Or?
I agree.
Okey-dokey. All right, let's get into some business here. Let's see. Oh, I missed one correspondence that's already been sent around, and we had some more comments posted, so everybody's got a copy of those. So mark that off the schedule here, and we'll move into our.
Give a moment for everybody to leave if they would want to. If they're, I mean,
Sure.
you don't have to stay. You can stay for the whole meeting. I'm not trying to.
He wants to kick you out right now.
I don't want to kick you out. I've been in enough board meetings in my life that.
That's right. But sincerely, thank you all for bringing your concerns. We do appreciate it.
I had no idea. No. It's a public meeting. I'm sorry, but.
All right, you're good. Now there's some seats that opened up, so.
Everybody would be awkwardly wanting to leave at different points, and it's just easier if you get them out.
No, that's a great idea. Thank you. All right, we'll go into our consent agenda. First one, Dr. Reddick,
All
can
right.
you walk us through that, please?
You've got your minutes and your financial reports as usual. We have some personnel items. We've got a resignation. Jamie Rodenberger is a paraprofessional. She's retiring at the end of the year. We wish her well. So we have that resignation. We've got employing of certified staff. I know that we've got some new people, going to be new CSD people in the audience. Amanda Bandy is going to be our new art teacher. I don't think she's here. She's currently a part-time art teacher, and she's going to move into the full-time position. August Hengel is here. I saw him. There's Mr. Hengel. He is an Eagle View student teaching right now, and he's going to be coming over to Parkview to be one of our special ed teachers. We got Haley Storm. Where's Haley? There's Haley. She's going to be our CMS special ed teacher because Mrs. Rep is going to be moving into the English language arts class that we have. That is a shock to Mrs. Haven, right? She's didn't get in on the little chain of information, did you? Wow. Hannah Phelps is here. She's going to be our new high school social studies teacher. She's in the front row. And then we have Emily Bala, middle school science teacher. And so we're very excited about these hires. It's going to be a great year next year. We've got 2 leaves of absences. Elizabeth Mahaffey, she is going to give birth, and so around 5:20, she's going to be off if the doctors know what they're talking about. Trent Mahaffey will also be taking a leave. They are married, so we wish them both well with their child. And we've got Patricia Lidekin, who is going to be on leave from the March 19th to the end of the year, so she's currently on leave. There's no extracurricular assignments, no non-certified class advancements. We do have some vacancies. We are still thinking about the library. I said it wasn't posted tonight, but we are going to post for a full-time art teacher at the middle school, and we'd like to post for a full-time STEM teacher at the middle school as well to round out our exploratories for next year. And so, with your consent, I recommend the board approve the consent agenda as presented.
Perfect. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, would anybody like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Tyson. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Andrea. Roll call, please.
Adam Duncan,
Yes.
Gary Corey,
Yes.
Greg Meyer,
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Search.
Yes.
I am excited about the STEM teacher.
Yeah.
That's really gonna, I think, we've got something on my table that I think might be relevant to that. But I'll let you go through the agenda.
Thank you, appreciate it. All right, next one is the enrollment report, which is in your packet. Substantial on that, and we'll start off with our building report.
If I stand up, can everyone hear me okay?
Sure.
Okay. All right, I'm Courtney Miller, and I'm the assistant principal at CMS. And these are some pictures. I'm going to speak about them, and then there are pictures to kind of go along with what I'm going to speak about. These are just some highlights from second semester at the middle school. We held a fundraiser for Elsa. She's a girl who lives in Waterloo, one of our neighboring communities, and many connections with her family. She is battling cancer, and she has a bucket list that her family would like to fulfill for her. So we held a fundraiser for her at our last home volleyball game, which perfectly fell as a game against Waterloo. So their community came over, we had a fundraiser for her, and at that fundraiser we raised $2,189 to give her family. Yeah, it was a really great night. So those pictures on the right are from the fundraiser, and that's a picture of Elsa at the top. We also had an incentive for the month of January for students that had no referrals at all. They got to visit the reptile guy. He's along the bottom there. He's holding a snake. We have some students holding snakes and holding some of the reptiles. The students really, really loved this. Miss Dent loved it too. I almost put a picture of Miss Dent up there, but I didn't. But it was a really fun time. Our volleyball girls ended their season recently. The 8th grade had a record of 15-9, and that's our 8th grade team right there. They're conference champs. And then the 7th grade team had a 17-8 record. So they were really fun to watch this year. In the middle at the top, that bright light is a picture of the Monroe County Electric live wire demonstration. They came a couple weeks ago, and they showed, the dangers of electricity and how live wires, students need to know when being around electric stuff. And they did this for every PE class, so every student in the building got to see this demonstration, and kind of a smaller group where they couldn't just kind of hide in the bleachers and not pay attention. So that was a really great demonstration, and they were very gracious to come do that for us. We're preparing for our IR testing coming up April 3rd through 14th. upcoming grade level field trips. Each grade level has their own field trip coming up. So the 5th grade is going to Monroe County Conservation at a sportsman's club. 6th grade is going to visit Camp Wartburg. 7th grade is going to visit Botanical Gardens. And the 8th grade is going to go to the movie theater to watch the Hunger Games movie, which is going along with that book that they're reading in their class right now. We are going to have a couple of our wonderful teachers and some of our amazing students show you just 2 highlighted projects, events that have been going on at CMS. So I want to start with Amber Haven. She's our 5th grade teacher, one of our 5th grade teachers, and she has brought 3 students with her to share about a recent project that they have been working on in class. And after her, then we'll move on to Miss Dent, and she's going to share about our drama production that we had earlier this year. So, go ahead.
Okay. I am here to introduce you to the experts in the Smart Motor field research project that we're in. I'm just going to let you know who they are and a little bit of the background information, and then I'll let the engineers talk to you. So Dr. Gainey, Mrs. Miller, and Mrs. M approved this field research project through Maryville University in St. Louis. Ultimately, it's through Tufts University in Boston, funded by the National Science Foundation. And what they're doing is giving us these smart motors. We are one of 10 schools in the St. Louis area, the only school in Illinois performing this field research. These motors are in front of you, and the girls are going to talk to you about how to program them. But what Tufts University is looking for is this authentic learning environment to see how machine learning can help make classroom learning more tangible, more efficient, and more engaging and more meaningful. So most of the schools, 9 actually out of the 10, have STEM clubs and art teachers who are doing STEM in their art classrooms, conducting this field research with 10 to 15 students at a time. At Columbia Middle School, our 5th grade scientists are 72 students at a time performing this research. So ultimately what Tufts University is doing is they're looking for us to build learning mats and projects that are almost like a recipe book, so that when this is produced for the masses, our research and what we've done can just be handed to other classrooms to use and to pick up easily. So without further ado, we have, they're going to introduce themselves actually, but we have 5th grade engineers and scientists who are going to show you one of their creations with the smart motors.
I'm Emily Rapini, and I was the programmer for the project. I'm Marlena Landry, and I was the project manager for this project. I'm Brinley Leifer, and I was the artist for this project.
I'm going to stop you right there, and I do want you to talk louder, okay?
When you're coding the motors, first you have your box, your motor, and whatever sensor you're using with the project. Now for this project, we used a slide sensor because it was most beneficial. Now once you've plugged this in, you can turn on your motor with the switch right here, and it will turn on and like.
Where's the switch on?
Right here. So when you arrive on the main screen, you might see some data points in the box. So you're going to click one of the buttons on the side until you get an X shown right here. Once you've done that, you click this white button until all the data points are gone. Once you've deleted the data points, then you press the button again on the side until you get a plus. Then you use the rotary knob on top of the motor to move up and down, and whatever sensor you've plugged in to go left and right. Whenever you put the cursor wherever you need it, you can click the white button on the front of the screen again to add the data points. Once you're done adding the data points, you click the side button again until you get a play sign. And then you press the white button on the front, and it might move a little bit, and then you use whatever sensor you have to move it.
So you just coded this robot, right? So you deleted old data points with the X, you added data points with the plus, and then the play button remembers your data points, and that motor on the top spins and moves.
Have you ever walked outside and looked at your local tree? And you may notice that there's a shadow there, and it varies throughout the time of the day. And I'm going to explain how. The sun rises in the east. It starts low in the sky. The tree blocks the light from the sun, creating a longer shadow for that time of day. At 12 p.m., the sun is overhead, which makes the shadow shorter. And then the sun sets in the west at 5 p.m. Depending on the time of day, the shadow will be about as long as the 7 a.m. one. The sun is not moving, the earth is just orbiting.
I'm going to explain how this model helps us with science. So this project helps us with science because the Earth's rotation is helping the sun move throughout the day, which is creating the lengths of the shadows at different times. Like Marlena said, it starts in the east and sets in the west. This is helping us show a more efficient way of us seeing the shadows in the time. So, and then, okay, you can move it. And that's all.
So each Friday, or this week it was Thursday, the last day of the week, we have build days, and it started with just have fun, build, get to know the motor, because as you can see here, it took you a little bit of getting to know your motor and getting to know the buttons. So the kiddos took notes and they really explored and learned what to do, and now we're applying it to the content. I would say one class period is all it took for you to get to know how to code. And so 3 weeks now we've done the actual content connection. This was the sun rising in the east, setting in the west, showing the length of shadows changing throughout the day and giving that hands-on authentic modeling, because we can't obviously bring the sun into the classroom, right? This one is showing the layers of the atmosphere, starting with closest to the earth and moving on up. And then the students supported this with popsicle sticks and paper, and they learned different facts about the layers of the atmosphere. So this model had to have some sort of moving component, and so this group, not this group, but another one, decided to show a meteorite burning up in the mesosphere. So that's their moving element here. So us being a part of this field research, we can turn both of these projects into those learning mats that can become used by more and more classrooms. You guys did really great. I'll collect those once Miss is done.
And something I forgot to say right before we started, but it kind of goes along with what they're sharing, is we got final approval last night from the city of Valmeyer to have our PTA-funded stargazing night for 5th grade. So that is going to be April 11th. That's the flyer that you guys got handed out here. So we're excited to have that funded, and we don't have to write a grant for that anymore. So
I will tell the board that if you've not gone to the stargazing night before, you really just need to go. And for the families of the 5th graders, it's impressive and it's awesome if you haven't done it before. I mean, the amount of work the 5th grade team has with all the little stations and stuff, and you just get to have, and they've got so many telescopes, and just, it's an outstanding night, and I'm gonna stop geeking out and let you guys go.
Okay, so next Annie Dent is here with some of her cast members from Matilda Junior, and she's going to share, and the students are going to share how this program has been so positive for them and for our school. And I just want to say I attended this Sunday afternoon production, and it was sold out. It was standing room. So we brought in some extra chairs, and Ms. Denton gave up her chair to someone else in the back. It was a packed house, so it was a really awesome production. So I'll let you share more about that.
Thank you so much. We do have some additional photos here taken by our photographer, also featuring a prop that I've been holding. So Braylon and Leah are going to pass out some scripts while I talk about how our production started. These are yours to keep. They were extras that we had purchased with the rights for this production through Music Theater International. Matilda Jr. is a condensed version of the Broadway production of the same name, and it tells Roald Dahl's timeless story of Matilda, but this is set in an educational setting. So these juniorized versions are able to have glossaries of both the text within the story that the characters and actors will be saying, as well as theater technical terms, such as blocking, choreography, stage left versus stage right. So it really helps students with that introduction into theater by condensing down what would be a 2.5-hour production to about 60 minutes. We started in December, shortly after Thanksgiving break, with auditions, and then coming back from all those snow days in January, we started our rehearsals and performed Valentine's Day weekend. So we only had about 5 or so weeks before performances started. In total, we had 80 middle schoolers performing on the CMS stage, and we had an additional 25 students ranging from 5th grade up, backstage in the booth, helping with costumes, painting, everything. So students were truly at the helm, and I am simply organizing the chaos, it seems. We have students who help with all of the choreography, who help run the lights, the sound, the spotlight, all the microphones, who help keep backstage running smoothly during performances, and who help make sure that our middle school students have a successful show as well. Those students are currently rehearsing their own production in addition to working on the Matilda Jr. show. So they take on a great level of responsibility at the high school level so that students like Braylon and Leah with me tonight can have a very successful and enjoyable performance. In total, that brings us to about 105 students participating in this production, many of whom, about 40 or so, this was their first ever production to performance. So I'm very excited and I'm very proud of them and everything that they did. Braylon here is a 6th grade student. She was in Seussical with me last year in my first year within this position as drama sponsor. And I've invited her here to talk about how she feels that she's grown since being in the drama club. Braylon, come on up.
Okay.
Yep.
Theater has helped me be a better student by learning how to be a good performer and helped me be more confident in myself. Drama Club has also helped me be more cooperative, focused, social, and responsible. My memorization skills have also improved in the past year.
Additionally, with productions such as Matilda, we need some specialty props. This is the fake Amanda. If you know the story of Matilda, Amanda Thripp is thrown by pigtails, which is seen in the top left picture on the board. However, I am not going to throw a student by the pigtails. So a local props artisan, his name is Philip Wiesman, he made this out of complete foam down to the shoes. So the wig is glued and sewn into a foam head that he painted himself to make it look like ears, eyes, eyebrows, everything. It has gotten a little scuffed as it hit the floor a few times, but he took the costume pieces and attached them to the body, and then he also made the shoes from foam. So in case it were to ever not fly appropriately when it was released and accidentally bump into someone, it wouldn't truly hurt them. So everything that you see here is all foam with some thin wire in the shoulders and arms to help give it some structure. Additionally, Leah and Braylon, can you help me again, please? They're going to pass out some foam pieces of cake that I will be collecting when we are done here. These foam pieces of cake were also made by the same props artisan here in Columbia. They were used in a song called Bruce, in which Bruce Longbottom needs to eat a chocolate cake from Trunchbull, and as you feel it, you can squeeze it from the top down so that he could pretend to eat it, and then shove it into a laundry basket that we had drilled into the table and hid with a tablecloth, which was truly a bed sheet. So we were able to acquire these two props through the profits that we make from concessions and ticket sales. All in all, these two items, along with his labor, cost us approximately $1,000, which may seem like a lot for some foam, but for the time that it takes to build these, he dedicated about 3.5 weeks to making these come together and come to life for us. And he lives here in Columbia. He is a father of a student who attends ICS, but he's excited for the partnership that we've now built as some specialty props. And those cakes are also covered on the sides with a liquid plastic coating, so that our Bruce could even put chocolate pudding on his face to look like the icing had gone onto his face. So these cakes and this prop will last us for years to come. Leah here was our Miss Wormwood, Matilda's mother. You can see her in the bottom left photo. Leah, excuse me, sorry, is an 8th grade student. She has been in production since she was in 5th grade, which is before my time in this role. So she has had a number of directors lead her through the drama production, and I've asked her here as well to give her thoughts and views on being a part of the drama production as she leaves the middle school and goes off to the high school now.
One thing I love about Drama Club is the sense of belonging and inclusion I feel while participating in various Drama Club rehearsals and performances. There is always a place or role for everyone, and I have never felt excluded or lonely. I also really love to see how the show comes together by the end of the play season. I always feel nervous before going out on stage, before a real performance in front of an audience, but it is so worth it when I get to see my fellow castmates and friends so happy up on that stage. After watching everyone work so hard during the rehearsals and then getting to see the end result of everyone performing by the end of the season, that's one of my favorite parts of being in Drama Club. It is truly so much fun. Thank you.
We are so thankful for the drama productions that we are able to put on with your support. And I look forward to continuing our productions. We have, like I said, our final production of the Drama Club season for the high school will be coming up at the beginning of April. And then we are already looking at season selection for next year for the high school and middle school to bring even more fun Drama Club performances to the stage, and especially as we complete the construction over at the high school. Hoping to make sure that our Drama Club stays as prominent and as successful as it has been in these past few years. Thank you so much.
We love what you've done the last few years.
Thank you.
With the drama program. I mean, and I look forward to seeing next year once the auditorium is up and everything's.
As an alum, it's been great to come back and be in this role now too. So.
Well, it's exciting to know that these group of people are going to actually be in the new auditorium.
Yes, it is. It's so exciting.
You gotta watch it.
Mine didn't work. I didn't get the program on.
I was going to let you play with mine.
Yeah, I tell you guys also, every time you bring in a group of students, I am so impressed with not only the students, the teachers, and the offerings here. It's really, really great to see. So thank you for.
We had to narrow it down to just these two this time and then put a few other things on the back burner. So it's good to have a lot of choices. It's a good problem to have.
Having the kids come in and present every month has been a nice addition. So
yeah.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Very impressed. All right. We'll move on to our assistant superintendent report, Dr. Gainey.
Always hard to go after.
I know. We might need to start rearranging.
I know. So many amazing things are going on. With that being said, we have our district shout outs. I would like to start with Eagle View, which is Michelle Gillum, our school psychologist. Michelle is a fantastic support for the students and staff in our district. As one of our district's 2 school psychologists, she supports both Eagle View and Parkview. Michelle does it all. She coordinates and executes IEP evaluation assessments. She writes hundreds of pages of evaluation reports and IEPs annually. She educates and supports families throughout the IEP process. She collaboratively problem solves with school teams in both SOAR and Tier 2. And she steps up whenever and however she can. We are lucky to have Michelle to support us all here in Columbia. A big shout out to Michelle at Eagle View. Then we have Parkview. Mrs. Oberfell, I always say that wrong, the art teacher. A huge shout out to Mrs. O, our amazing elementary school art teacher. Her positivity and infectious smile light up the classroom every single day. Her passion for art is truly inspiring. She encourages all of her students to explore their creativity and do their very best. Mrs. O goes above and beyond, dedicating countless hours to making the art show at the Parkview Open House an unforgettable experience for everyone. We're so lucky to have a teacher who puts so much heart into everything she does. Thank you, Mrs. O, for all that you do. At the middle school, we have Mrs. Henning. She is our new behavior interventionist, and she deserves a shout out as well. I want to give a huge shout out to Mrs. Henning for her incredible dedication and flexibility in stepping into a challenging role during a critical time of need. While serving as our district behavior interventionist, Mrs. Henning selflessly took on the responsibilities of the cross-cat teacher when the regular teacher was unable to be in attendance. She has not only navigated the unique needs of our cross-cat students, paraprofessionals, and ever-changing schedules, but she has done it with grace and ease. Thanks to her expertise and the thoughtful interventions and schedules she has implemented, the classroom is thriving. Mrs. Henning's unwavering commitment to our students and staff is truly remarkable, and we are beyond grateful for her. She is a true godsend. Shout out to Mrs. Henning. And at our high school, we have a shout out to Mr. Christian Avis Rouse. He added the girls' basketball games to the pep band schedule this year, and that was a huge addition for our music program. He has his band cleaning the bleachers after games, which helps make our school sparkle and shine, and just finished the basketball season, bringing great energy to all home games. Big shout out to Mr. Christian Avis Rouse. Curriculum and resources. I am very happy to announce that Social Studies does have a preview for the board and community that is set up in the back behind Dr. Grody and Mr. Meyer. And they are set up by grade levels, to which I will bring a recommendation officially to the board next month. But I thought it was important to have it on display so everybody could view it if they wanted to view it. Our social studies committees have been meeting since early in the fall, and it has been a good journey. We did not have many social studies programs to choose from. You will notice that we did grade level bands, and really that is for what is best for students' needs. So 2 through 5 is McGraw-Hill Impact Program. In the center is a TCI program for grades 6 through 8. The standards are the same. It's just a different type of program to fit the needs of those students in that grade level band. On the far side, you have McGraw-Hill again, which is best for our high school students because they all are doing coursework. And in order to do coursework, we need some specific resources, and McGraw-Hill was the best match for that as well. I just asked that if you want to take a handout, you only take handouts that have the QR codes because the other ones are just single copies. I would prefer those be looked at in here just because I don't have more than one copy. But please, anybody in the room, board members, I will probably send something out to the community. It will be open. If somebody comes during the day, I will try to be tracked down so I can come in and answer any additional questions. But we are really excited. It was a navigation process to do it grades 2 through 12, but we did it, and I'm excited. We are preliminary stages of an ELA grades K through 8 curriculum. What we have done so far is we sent out a teacher survey to all K through 8 teachers to get their feedback on what's going well, what they would like to see. I'm getting my building administrators in on the instructional process, so myself and building principals have been going into EL classrooms to see the resources they're using and see the kids in action. I meet with my admin team tomorrow to go over the survey results, and then we will continue with our teacher leader teams. Hopefully, we will have more news as the months progress as far as an ELA program. Super excited to share our first college career pathway. The construction pathway has been approved. It is state official. So why I'm so excited, so many reasons I'm excited. When we all sat down at the high school to start talking about this, we all kind of looked at each other like, we don't know what to do. And I was like, I don't know either, but we're going to figure it out. And through a lot of teamwork, we did. So the construction pathway is going to be off the ground and is state official. I did meet with our ag teachers to start talking about a second pathway for the next year. So a lot of good things happening there. Excited. Europe trip, I wanted to provide you an update. Mr. Post and I are still in communication. The student meeting that they had on March 5th, 84 students. We were worried he wouldn't get 20, but 84 showed up. That was just to get the general information. But then they had the parent meeting and there were smaller numbers. So we are in conversation. He's been keeping me up to date on everything just to get my thoughts, and then he gives me his because he's done it before. We're thinking, because right now a 2026 trip will be the same year as Spanish and German. So possibly offering a back-to-back. That way the Europe trip then is on an alternating year. And maybe some of the students that want to go this 2026 would want to wait for more time for 2027. So I will continue to give you updates on that, but I just wanted to provide where we are. And there was definitely interest. So we're happy we moved forward. And the only other thing that I wanted to share is we are currently working with our district in building leadership on how to collaborate. So we have a collaboration initiative. Each one of our school improvement plans has a collaboration piece. So we have some really great professional development coming up for the district in building leadership involving collaboration. How do we do it at the district level? How do we do it at the building level? And how do we do it with our teachers? So all of that is coming up August 4th and 5th and October 6th and 7th. Good things ahead. We're excited. Thank you.
Yeah, I get to follow that after she followed the students. This is the boring stuff. I did get a check. As you guys are well aware, we had a bookkeeper that left us, and when we transferred our systems over, we found out there were some shenanigans. She has pled guilty. Our insurance company did give us, this was when we originally found it, $250,000 in restitution of the money that we could prove was stolen from us. She did plead guilty. She is currently incarcerated, and we received a $60,000 check. And I just want you to be aware we have to turn that back over to Travelers. So that's money in, money out. So her restitution has been paid, and it is being forwarded to the insurance company that made us whole on our loss. Next month, Ann Noble will be here. She's the young lady from Stiefel that does our bond sales. We're going to be talking about bonds. It looks like this will be our last sale of bonds because arbitrage is no longer on the table, and so instead of earning that extra interest, it's better to just sell all of them at one time. You've got to pay off your bonds within 3 years, and our construction project would be able to use those funds. So next month we will start our last sale of bonds. For those of you that aren't aware, we had a storm last week. It was kind of windy. The fence around our construction site actually got blown down, but they got it up within a couple of days, so I was happy to see that. But more importantly, if you haven't been to the back of Eagle View, there is a sunshade that is over all of the playground equipment. It's a huge sunshade that got installed. Andy Wilbacher, who's a local guy, he installed it, and the next day I was out at Eagle View thinking, oh my God, what am I going to see? Because, I mean, it's just one big kite type. It stood. It's standing. It's there. It did not budge. And I went, I will be filing a claim with our greenhouse because the hail did not act as kindly toward the greenhouse, but our sunshade stood. So I was happy about that. And then finally, we will have executive session. There will be some action items after, if you agree. So that said, that's the superintendent's report for this month.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Move on to our items for action. The first one is the approval of the 2025-26 student fees.
Yeah, and there's just minor changes. Parkview planner went from 3 to 4. Middle school planner went from 3 to 5. And a curriculum material fee in 3rd and 4th grade was added to support the OG program. It's just easier to have a fee that gets you the same cards instead of having families go out and try and get the right index cards. And so that's an OG fee, which is Orton Gillingham.
Yes.
Okay. Right now, we do not have the information regarding lunches, school lunches, but I've been here for 5 years and we've never had to change our price on school lunches, so I don't assume we will again. So those would have no changes. If we do end up having to change those, I will bring you on an addendum. But at this point in time, administration recommends the board approves the 25-26 student fees as presented.
Perfect. Any questions from the board? Comments? Hearing none, maybe you'd like to make a motion to approve the student fees.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Lisa, second?
I'll second.
Adam seconds. Roll call, please.
Adam Humpkin.
Yes.
Andrea Corey.
Yes.
Craig Meyer.
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher.
Yes.
Tyson Surge.
Yes.
Perfect. Approved. Our next item is the approval for the non-reemployment of non-tenured teachers.
Yeah, and this is, we added financial literacy a while ago, and we have a paraprofessional that also works as an aide or as in that classroom. And so what we're doing is we're moving away from that as the elective. We're moving towards STEM. Financial literacy will be folded into either math or social studies, so we'll still be hitting those standards, but middle schoolers to get a true love of financial literacy at that level is just, it doesn't make its own course. And so we're going to move to STEM, and so the young lady is a great teacher. She did a fine job, but this is just a change of program. And so administration recommends the board approve the non-reemployment of the non-tenured teacher as presented. And so that I'm clear, she will be full-time as a paraprofessional with us.
Okay,
So she's just not going to have the teaching part anymore.
Hate to lose a good teacher.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, maybe I'd like to make a motion to approve the non-reemployment of the non-tenured teacher.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Tyson. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Andrea. Roll call, please.
Andrea Corey.
Yes.
Craig Meyer.
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher.
Yes.
Tyson Surge.
Yes.
Adam Humpkin.
Yes.
All right. Item C is the approval of a non-tenured teachers.
Yeah, this is that yearly task. Everybody kind of moves up if they've worked enough days to earn a year of credit. Administration recommends the board approve the non-tenured teachers as presented, and I will note that Mr. Avis Rouse, Mrs. Rodenberg, and Mrs. Volmer have moved to obtaining tenure in this year. You get the 4 years, and it's always a nice mile marker. It doesn't really change anything other than you have tenure, so well done. But
you can't be thrown into option B anymore, so. They can't be put in option B anymore.
Right.
All right. Any questions? Comments? Anybody like to make a motion to approve the non-tenured teachers?
I'll make the motion. Go ahead, Tyson. I'll second, yeah.
All right. Tyson made a motion, second Lisa. Roll call, please.
Craig Meyer.
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher.
Yes.
Tyson Surge.
Yes.
Adam Humpkin.
Yes.
Andrea Corey.
Yes.
All right, next item is the approval for the IHSA membership for 25-26.
Illinois High School Athletic Association. We recommend that we stay with the IHSA, as most public schools in Illinois do. Administration recommends that the board approve the membership. And as always, there are no fees that go with that. They waive them because they make the money in their postseason play.
Perfect. All right, questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, would like to make a motion to approve the IHSA membership for 25-26. I get two at once and then nobody.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Adam. Second?
I'll second.
Tyson seconds. No money, so we'll just do a roll or a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions. All right. Carries unanimously. Next one is the approval to amend the 24-25 school calendar.
Yeah, we've used all of our emergency days plus some. The plus sums do not need to be made up. Those are called Act of God days in the Illinois state system. Our last day will be May 28th, but administration recommends that the board approve the 24-25 final calendar as presented, and we can submit it to the state and be done with that yearly task.
Perfect. Questions on the school calendar?
So is school continuing till the 28th of May? Is graduation still on the, was it the 6th?
Yes.
18th?
Yes. And we set the graduation and then don't change that because people have vacations and travel plans that they make to come into town and whatnot, so.
So then will the finals week for the high school be the week of the 19th or be prior to graduation?
The seniors will have their finals prior to graduation, and then the other ones would
Okay.
move accordingly.
Any other questions? Would you like to make a motion to approve the amended school calendar?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Andrea. Second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? All right, next item is the approval for the scoreboard marquee fiber and power bid.
Yeah, and so we engaged with Digital Scoreboards to get new video scoreboards for our gymnasium and for the outside. Lowry gave us the quotes, and they did the electrical work, and I believe that the scoreboards are getting installed either this week or next week, but it's going to be sometime soon for the inside. The outside, we needed to get the fiber and the power to the scoreboard from the press box. With that, we asked for bids because the quote there was more. We had 3 companies put in, and the ADL Communications is the company that was the lowest bid. They came in at $83,500, and they actually offered a $5,000 deduct. That their base bid of $83,500 was the lowest bid amongst all of it. But then they also said that we could take $5,000 off of this if we saw cut a little bit, instead of bringing the wires overhead into the concession stand. Where the power is coming from the middle school, it's going into the concession stand, then to the scoreboard, and then the fiber to connect is going up to the press box. Long story short, instead of having the wires go overhead, they're going to go underneath and then cut a little hole and replace the stamped concrete. Mrs. Pollock and Kurt Steve both agree that would be nice. It would be good. It keeps, then we won't have wires hitting it and everything. And it's a $5,000 deduct. So I would recommend that the board approve the ADL Communications bid for $78,500 to get fiber and power to the new scoreboard for the digital scoreboards.
With the exception of alternate 2.
Yeah, we're not going to do alternate 2. When they're doing is they're going to add a box. Alternate 2 was looking at possibly getting fiber to the greenhouse.
I think it was alternate 1, wasn't it?
But that was alternate 1, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to do alternate 2.
We are going to do alternate with the deduct, but we're not doing alternate 1, which would get fiber to the greenhouse.
Okay.
We're going to look at possibly Wi-Fi, and if Wi-Fi doesn't work, this bid does have a junction box, and so you can do the fiber later to the greenhouse should you want.
Kim, anything you want to add? Perfect. Thank you for putting all that together for us. All right. Comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, would anybody like to make a motion to approve the scoreboard marquee fiber and power bid as presented without alternative 1 and with alternate 2?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Adam. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tyson. Roll call, please.
Adam Hempkin,
Yes.
Andrea Corey. Yes. Greg Meyer.
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher. Yes. Tyson Search.
Yes.
All right, next one's a big one. The approval of phase 2.
Phase 2 bids is the portion of the high school that has the gymnasium attached to the backside. Phase 2 will begin sometime after August 14th, when they give me access to the front of the building. So the current temporary entrance will no longer be the temporary entrance. That will be where the new construction of the gym's happening. And we're gonna have the new entrance, our new entrance will be going into the new office in August. So we went out to bid, we had all the bids, and I've got the base bid packages. It's gonna be a total of $10,255,526.58. I've got it written down here as a motion that needs to be read, if you wanna pass that to. Mr. Hempkin, being on the committee, has made the motions in the past. It's been lucky for us, because we're coming in on budget. I'm gonna ask that he make the motion again.
Well, also to clarify, we had a meeting a few months ago where we said we were potentially over budget, and I clarified that we weren't really over budget, we were over projections. Great news is the actual bids came in $3 million under what we were expecting, so we are right back on track, and even with inflation and everything else, we hit the nail on the head. So thanks to the committee for that, 'cause that was a major win for us in the district. So we're back on schedule, I think. Or budget, thank you.
Yes, we're back to right on the original budget.
Exactly.
Got to trust the process.
That's right. All right, any comments, concerns, questions on phase 2? Would anybody like to make a motion on phase 2?
Well, I was gonna make a
Why,
comment,
Adam,
but it was
please.
not on phase 2. So just an update on phase 1, as everyone in the community can see as they're driving by now, especially when the fence is down.
That's the next.
You will see that there is a lot of activity going on at the moment. Within the next 3 weeks, we expect all of the, what we call flat concrete work to be done, all of the structural steel to be up by mid-April, and you're starting to see some of the walls being built with the metal framing. So it's really starting to look like a structure. And over the next few weeks, barring more crazy wind, because that's one weather event most people don't think about. You cannot hang steel when the wind is blowing. Cranes don't like to operate safely anyway. So, but I also just wanted to thank all of the teachers and students for being patient, because we are literally working right outside their windows on occasion. It is a disturbance and it is impactful. So just wanted to thank all of the staff and the students at the high school particularly, as well as the middle school, because it does cause disruption with drop-offs and everything else, having all the construction going on. So a lot of thanks to you guys, but also just kind of an update of what you should expect to see in the next few weeks. Lots of concrete trucks, lots of steel workers. You know, they're trying to get all that foundational work done. They're starting to run electrical above grade. They're roughing some of that in, so it's really kind of awesome to see, and really interesting to see it up close as to what they're doing. They've got some of the they should have finished pouring the steel that's up right now, the concrete on the second floor. So it's really moving along quickly, and they're doing a lot of great work. So we did tour, a couple of us did go on site today at our construction update and got to get up close and personal with it. So it's really, they're really doing a great job, and they're paying attention to the detail. The concrete looks great. So anyway, with that, I will move that the board award the phase 2 bid package as recommended from Pecker Construction for a total contract of $10,255,526.58, and that the resulting phase 2 contracts for each subcontractor be assigned by the board immediately upon this award to Pecker Construction Company pursuant to their A-133 agreement between the owner and construction manager as a constructor with the district.
Thank you.
Well said, thank you. All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Andrea. All right, roll call, please.
Lisa Schumacher,
Yes.
Tyson Surge,
Yes.
Adam Hempkin,
Yes.
Andrea Corey,
Yes.
Greg Meyer.
Yes. All right, motion carries. This is a very exciting time for Columbia School District. That is huge, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that concludes our items for action in this section. We'll move on to our discussion items, which is our facility study. I think we got a little bit of a jump start on that. Thank you, Adam.
I will say that as Adam said, we walked around the stuff, and I was standing over where the band room's going to be, and the steel's not up there yet, but you can see where the steel's gonna be, and I'm thinking, it doesn't look right. It's not like, it doesn't look like the right size. And then when you go, it's just weird how, as you walk through it, the studs in the walls without drywall on it, it just, the size seems to start changing, because at first you're thinking, no, this doesn't look right. This is like weird. And is this big enough? And then when the walls go up, you start going, oh, okay. It starts becoming more real or more visual for me. So it's fun.
All right.
Yeah, and just, as Chris alluded, walking through it, it does change as the perspective changes. When it's wide open, sometimes they look huge, and then you put up your framing and it looks small, and then you put up your drywall, and then the room looks big again, or, more like what you expected. So it can be deceiving, but excited to see the orchestra pit is poured. So we will have an orchestra pit in front of our stage. I am very excited about that as someone who is a big fan of the arts. I know that's a big deal for the theater folks as well as the band folks and the audience. It's amazing how much difference some live musicians make and add to a production. And then our theater should sit, it's over 400.
It's over 400,
I think
which
it's
again, I was
around
standing there
450.
thinking.
So what we have at the middle school, it's going to be more than double the seating. So, and we have things like Matilda Junior, and people are standing room only. If we can pack this house to where it's standing room only again, then that's great. But just wanted to share that we will have 450 more comfortable seats, also in a theater setting. So it'll be, the people in the back will have less obstructions to see the stage. You can see how tall the stage is going, or the back of house is going to be now. So it'll be awesome to be able to do more things with our props and with our stage itself, and more lighting and just a designated space for that type of thing. Many of us are very, very excited about that. So, yeah, I think that's where we're at.
And storage for foam cakes. All right, anything else? Exciting times for the district. So, very happy. All right, let's move on to individual board member comments. And we have anything they want to add this evening?
Last month I had asked about reading the couple articles in the journal about student board members, but can we just table that to next month? And then I'll probably need to meet just with Dr. Gainey and Dr. Grody to kind of discuss it a little bit so we can put it on as an agenda item.
Perfect. I like that idea. All right, anyone else? All right, board president's prerogative. You guys have definitely heard enough from me tonight, so I won't bore you with anything else. We do have an executive session this evening for the purposes of appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee of a public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against a legal counsel for the public body, to determine its validity pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1, and/or student disciplinary cases pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C9, and/or placement of individual students in a special education program or other matters relating to individual students pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C10. With that, would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn into executive session?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Lisa. Second?
I'll second.
I'll do a second. Roll call, please.
Adam Temkin?
Yes.
Andrea Corey?
Yes.
Greg Meyer?
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher?
Yes.
Tyson Surge?
Yes. All right, we are going to go into executive session now, so we got to unfortunately clear the room. There are 2 potential items for action as a result of our executive session.
Thank you.
You
Enjoy
are
your
more
evening.
welcome to come back and listen to those. All right, we are back in open session. It's 10:44 p.m. Thank you for rejoining us. As a result of our executive session, we have 3 motions on the table, and I'll go ahead and make the first one. I make a motion to approve the transitional contract for Dr. Gainey to become our next superintendent for the 26-27 school year. Would anybody like to second that?
I'll second.
Thank you, Andrew. Can you roll call, please?
Adam Hemken.
Yes.
Andrea Corey.
Yes.
Greg Meyer.
Absolutely.
Lisa Schumacher.
Yes.
Tyson Search, yes.
All right, the next one, I make a motion to approve the administrative raises as presented. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Lisa. Roll call, please.
Andrea Corey.
Yes.
Greg Meyer.
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher.
Yes.
Tyson Search, yes. Adam Hemken.
Yes.
All right, next, I make a motion to approve the non-union, non-certified raises as presented.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Adam. Second. Roll call, please.
Greg Meyer.
Yes.
Lisa Schumacher.
Yes.
Tyson Search, yes. Adam Hemken.
Yes.
Andrea Corey.
Yes.
Perfect. Motion carries unanimously. All right, I would like to officially welcome Dr. Gainey as our future superintendent to replace our most excellent superintendent, Mr. Grode. Dr. Grode. Thank you very much. So,
Thank you all very much.
you made a really, really good choice, so welcome aboard. And we said the eagle has landed, so.
Yes,
Perfect.
officially.
Officially, exactly, right. That's right. All right, perfect. Any other new business? Nope. Hearing none, would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Adam. Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that concludes our meeting at 10:46 p.m. Thank you all very much. Sorry for the